lethal, and loud. This is the Scooter McGee Show on News Talk 1310 KFKA.
The following program is intended for mature audiences.
I'd sit alone and watch your light, my only friend through teenage nights, and everything I had to know, I heard it on my radio.
Well, good evening, Gotham. Good evening, Metropolis. Emerald City, Xanadu, Babylon, to the ISS, and the rest of you. Let's get through a quick 90-minute abridged version of a Quantum News Network production of the Scooter McGee Show live from the CRP 4x4 studios. A quick glance at the headlines, and we'll get right into our interview tonight with Howard Caplan. All the headlines we're going to crack tonight, along with potentially any breaking news that should pass across our desks, will appear at 1310kfk.com. NASA. The Mars rover Curiosity has identified a variety of organic molecules on Mars. Life. Carbon-based life forms. Now the argument, intelligent design. It's life. The argument is there life elsewhere in this universe has been confirmed. It has been confirmed by the rover Curiosity. We do not need to look outside our universe. It's in our own solar system. It's on our neighboring planet. Bilderberg 2018 now underway. From Colorado Governor John Hickenlooper in attendance to the Vatican Secretary of State now attending Bilderberg. Cardinal Pietro Parolin, the Vatican Secretary of State, will take part in the Bilderberg Conference taking place this year in Turin, Italy, June 7th through the 10th. His name added to the list of now 131 participants, including Colorado Governor John Hickenlooper. Simple question asked on my Twitter feed. If you want to vote on it, we'll give you results later. But it was simply, should Colorado and her citizens care about John Hickenlooper attending Bilderberg 2018? And who and how its trip's being paid for? So far, you're all agreeing the consensus being yes, but there's only a few votes. Angela Merkel. Germany. She's now urging Europe to step up in Trump's New World Order. Oh, the New World Order didn't exist, but now it does. That's Trump's fault too? Wow.
The following program is closed captioned for the thinking impaired.
All right, good evening, Gotham. If you saw in social media earlier today, we got very lucky on the Scooter McGee Show. Former guest back on the show with us tonight, Howard Caplan. He, of course, if you're a new listener, he really coming into his own now as a true info warrior when he was able to confront Joe Biden. Creepy Uncle Joe. Before we get to our guest, however, I did post the video on social media available at 1310kfk.com. I do know, however, a lot of you don't necessarily follow social media for whatever reasons you have, and that's totally fine. However, let me just get up through this video portion. It has to do with Howard confronting former President William Jefferson Clinton about his trips with Jeffrey Epstein on the Lolita Express. This guy may be the only alert one in the room. Listen to the exchange and listen to the background of the people in the room.
Why did you fly on Jeffrey Epstein's Lolita Express 26 times? 26 times, Bill. What were you doing on Jeffrey Epstein's plane?
He's now asked the question. Listen if you can, and I'll pot the audio up a little hotter. Listen to the audience. This is so, everyone's so concerned about the children. And everything Howard Caplan just stated, is on record. President Clinton has even dodged his own Secret Service protection to get on the plane, to go do whatever. America now seems to be more concerned with Heidi Fleiss 25 years later than the scandals of President William Jefferson Clinton. But listen to the audience's response.
He knows. James Patterson knows who Jeffrey Epstein is. Child sex trafficker, you flew on it 26 times.
Shut
You got
up.
nothing to say? You know you did it. James, tell him who it is.
This isn't open session. Man.
This is not appropriate. We're going to have to ask you to leave. Well, we asked him to come back on the Scooter McGee Show. Ladies and gentlemen, Howard Caplan joining us. Good job, Howard.
Thanks, Scooter.
Excellent job. How did this, give the listeners a tease now, how this came to be?
Well, I mean, he was, he was doing his book tour, and, he's coming to Philadelphia, so it was just an opportunity, he's definitely on my list of people that I wanted to confront, and I wanted to confront him about so many things, but when you're doing something like this, you want to keep it, to one topic, because you're not going to have a lot of time. So, I got my ticket, and I went like everybody else.
I happened to check in earlier today. AJ, of course, is on vacation, Owen Schroyer. And Owen pointed out, much as I'm going to here, you may have been the only one with brain cells in that room. And I'm curious what it felt like to hear those, sit down, shut up, you were stating fact. This is not a conspiracy kook.org blogspot website. These are facts that are out in the public. New York Times, Washington Post, Wall Street Journal, Business Journal, you name it. I'm just curious if there was any feelings at that moment that overcame you, or again, is the adrenaline just pumping that you're actually doing this? Because again, I'm just, damn, dude, way to go. I don't know if I could do that.
The crowd, I know it, I've done it a few times, so I kind of know what to expect. The crowd was it was like an older crowd. I would say 50s and up. So, I knew, it was just basically the same reaction when I went to, see Biden. So I drowned that part out, it's like background noise, but it kind of, I guess in a way it kind of fuels you when you start hearing that. And, I'm focused in on Bill, and then, as you start to get escorted out, you'll hear, get out of here or something. And I probably react to some people in the crowd, but it doesn't bother me at all. It doesn't, it's not a big deal.
It was funny also seeing the reaction as the camera turned away as you were they escorting you out from behind, or was there one front and back behind you? Because the camera then, as you left the auditorium out into the lobby, the expression of snowflakes looks was kind of interesting.
Yeah, but it was really strange because I didn't realize it at the time. The Secret Service guy who came up to me, he was very polite. He didn't put his hands on me or anything.
No, he was extremely polite.
Yeah, he was like, "Sir, this is not the forum," because they were taking audience questions, and he said, "Sir, can you please sit down?" And it didn't dawn on me. It was like, wow, they were going to let me stay, and I was like, I had no intention of staying at that point. Maybe I should have. Maybe I should have sat down and just,
stared at him and made him uncomfortable for 2 hours.
Yeah, but it didn't really dawn on me until I left and I watched the video again. I was like, oh, he said, "Sir, please sit down." I'm like, wow, that's really strange.
Okay, so, and again, then coming out in the lobby, we go through, and forgive me, the university, I should know this, where Joe Biden went, where the Joe Biden event took place the first time where you missed him. But at this particular event, okay, what's your name? Give me an ID. Okay.
Yeah, right.
But
that was Long Island University.
Thank you, Long Island University, yes. But how were you treated after that? Because again, and I didn't really. So you said no, Secret Service. Wow, very nice, cordial. Hey, look, this isn't the place. Come on, let's get it. Just sit down, or we got to take you. Okay, fine, let's go. Anything happen outside?
Yeah, outside. And I have another video. I haven't posted it yet, but
I was gonna say because I haven't seen it. Okay.
Yeah, the Secret Service agent. I went in with the intention. I wasn't producing ID. I caught some flack from the Biden thing because I showed them my ID, and people were like, "Oh, you shouldn't have shown them anything." Blah blah. I said, "All right, let me not produce ID this time." So I went out and I said, they asked me if I had ID. A couple of Philadelphia police officers were there, and they asked me my name, and I told them my name. I don't care about my name.
Okay.
And the Secret Service officer was there, and she says, "Your date of birth?" I said, "I'm not giving you my date of birth." And she said, "Do you have ID?" And I said, "No, I don't." And I said, "Did I do anything illegal?" She said, "Sir, you disrupted the event." I said, "I understand. I know what I did." I said, "But did I do anything illegal?" And she said, "No." So I said, "Okay, then." And she let me go. And it was literally that simple. I said, I'm not here to hassle. Listen, I understand you have a job to do, but I didn't do anything illegal, so I'm just going to be on my way.
I'm on my way. Have a good night. See you later. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye. Okay.
Yeah. And I walked away. I mean, and that's the truth, because I didn't do anything illegal, and people have this perception that
you've done something illegal. No, you haven't.
Yeah. Yeah, including my parents. You're going to get arrested. It's not like that, And we still live in America, and the Secret Service people aren't these bad guys or anything like that. I did go to a Hillary event where they hassled me quite a bit more when she was going around on her book tour. She came to Philadelphia, and the Secret Service said that they were going to take me downtown if I didn't produce my ID. So I did produce my ID then. But
those are Hillary's goons. The rest, I've also discovered this when I covered Ron Paul access and talking with Secret Service guys. It's one thing for the bureaucrats, but the guys out in the field, I have yet to meet an ass. I've met some tough ones and some standoffish ones, but I get that that's their job. But I have yet. I mean, they're all in that. They're in that career line of work for one reason. They believe that in their soul. They're not there for corruption and power and all that. I find the bureaucrats of for example, Secret Service are, but the agents, the field agents themselves, I've never had a bad experience with them. Other than, some of them can be aloof or standoffish or, I don't want to say thuggy, but, just they try and be intimidating because they're secrets. But you're not. And at the end of the day, you still put your pants on like me. But, Jesus, you're the guy who jumps in front of the bullet. Wow, I got to respect that.
Right. And I'm definitely not there to give them any trouble.
Right. So, that's the other. They realize that 9,999 out of 10,000 people are not there to. Why would you want to be on the Secret Service radar? You don't. But you want to, attend. And it's also funny you said, my parents, because we talked about the Joe Biden video and when you brought and broached that subject with your mother, and your mother couldn't even get through the video and she's, oh my God, I can't watch this anymore. I just didn't realize that. And I'm paraphrasing.
That's awesome. That's awesome that you remember that. Thank you so much.
But it's interesting now, your parents' reactions in doing this one. Oh no, stop. You're going to get arrested. Wait a minute. Mom, Dad, from the 60s and peace, love, grooviness, protesting, we're supposed to question authority. And again, you weren't bringing up a subject that is, Sandy Hook never happened. No, Clinton's been on the Lolita Express, confirmed 26 times. What were you doing on the plane? It's a valid question.
I really believe that, and that's why I chose that one. Aside from the fact that what I deal with, basically on a daily basis on social media is pedophilia and child sex trafficking. So it all tied in. It's really interesting too. The couple days before I was going to the event, I was just looking up James Patterson. I'm not a very well-read person, and I didn't really know that much about him, to be perfectly honest with you. And it turns out that he co-authored a book on Jeffrey Epstein. He lived a mile from him.
Hold that thought, Howard.
Yeah, sure.
We're pushing 48 after the hour from the CRP 4x4 studios. Our guest tonight, Howard Caplan. We're talking about his confrontation with Bill Clinton and the Lolita Express, and we'll be back in 2 minutes right here on News Talk 1310 KFK.
What may be junk to you just might be another man's treasure. From stamps, sports memorabilia, silverware, or old jewelry, what may be junk to you just might be another man's treasures. Located at 2002 9th Street in Greeley, Another Man's Treasures can take these old items and convert them into cold, hard cash. Located at 2002 9th Street, remember Another Man's Treasure.
Well, hi, everybody. Dr. Ron Caskey jumping in here just for a real quick special announcement about probably the hottest indexed annuity I've seen in a decade. And you need to call and get the rest of the information. Allow me to sit down and show it to you. But it has a 10% guaranteed roll-up. That's an income roll-up. So it's a guaranteed 10% for the first 10 years, plus a 10% bonus on the premium. And the second 10 years has a 5% guaranteed roll-up. I also have one with an 8% guaranteed and 2 times the index in addition to that. And then I've got one here that you can add to for 7 years. So you need to call and get the information on that. Here's my toll-free number, 877-218-1972. I don't know how long this will be around, so don't put it off. Call me now.
So you think the Pawn Stars are in Vegas, huh? Have you been to City National Pawn? 3301 West 10th Street in Greeley, and you're the Pawn Star. With great deals on commercial and industrial tools, electronics, smartphones, laptops, and fine jewelry. So many great deals and a constantly changing inventory guarantee you get the best deal in town at City National Pawn. Need quick cash fast? City National Pawn has got you covered there too. Monday through Friday and Saturdays, remember, you're the Pawn Star at City National Pawn, 3301 West 10th Street in Greeley.
What may be junk to you just might be another man's treasure. From stamps, sports memorabilia, silverware, or old jewelry, what may be junk to you just might be another man's treasures. Located at 2002 9th Street in Greeley, Another Man's Treasures can take these old items and convert them into cold, hard cash. Located at 2002 9th Street, remember Another Man's Treasure.
Last time on the Hull Show.
CSU head basketball coach Nico Medved. I'm a huge fan of this kid. Nico Carvaccio.
It's been a lot of fun getting to know him. He cares. He likes to work. So fortunate we get to have him here for 2 more years. He has a real unique opportunity this summer. He's going to go play with the Chilean national team this summer. It's a tremendous opportunity for him.
This has been the Hull Show replay. For more, tune in weekdays from 11 to 1 on 1310 KFKA.
Well, I'm glad to hear Chris is okay. What's the condition of his car?
It can be fixed. I'm just waiting to hear from my insurance adjuster as to where.
We'll take it over to Auto Collision Specialists. They've repaired my cars for years.
I wanted to, but my adjuster says I'll have to pay additional costs out of my own pocket to have it repaired at Auto Collision Specialists.
Stop. You pay your insurance premiums in good faith every month with the expectation that if you have an accident, your insurance company will pay what's necessary to repair your car correctly. In many cases, that's not what happens. Scare tactics like threatening to make you pay out of pocket or not warranting the work are tricks that will not be tolerated at Auto Collision Specialists. You can rest assured we have your best interests at heart and will do everything in our power to make sure your insurance company fulfills its commitment to you. Remember, insurance companies don't fix cars. We do.
Auto Collision Specialists will take care of that.
Cutting-edge commentary from the edge of reality. The Scooter McGee Show is back on News Talk 1310 KFKA.
The following program is intended for mature audiences.
Guys on the network side, you're going to be pissed. We've got breaking news coming out of Weld County in the run for commissioners regarding Scott James. Stand by, Howard. This coming off of Scott's social media. I'm just going to read his entire statement. You ever marvel and wonder if your own situation is even real? He says today was one of those days for him. Scott James, running for Weld County Commissioner. He is stating on his social media, you know that I'm lucky enough to live my dream. He gets to turn on the mic every morning, talk about life to a group of people that have become good friends. He gets to entertain and serve the public. He says, entertain you and serve you, I'm paraphrasing for him, to be part of your day, both on and off the air. He goes on to say, after I turn off the mic, I get to serve folks in northern Colorado as an elected public servant. He, of course, is the mayor of Johnstown, Colorado. He says, whether it is as a northern Colorado radio talent or an elected official, it is all about service to the people of the place where he grew up, where he says, I grew up. But today, my public service turned political when a complaint was made to my radio station about being on air each day as part of my job. That complaint alleged that for me to do my job would be a violation of equal time rules from the FCC when it comes to election communications. He says that it is mind-boggling to him. He says it's mind-boggling to me that it could be improper to go to work each day as part of Northern Colorado's community, especially since I've been incredibly careful never to mention his candidacy for any elected office while he was doing his radio show with, of course, the lovely and talented Sadie. Scott and Sadie in the Mornings, 97.9 Big Country, a iHeartMedia production. Folks above my pay grade are discussing what should be done, even with their consideration and all the caution that he says, I have taken to be a man of integrity and not cross that line. He is deciding to take the next 2 weeks off. An FCC violation gets him a vacation? Oh, that's not fair. And I'm joking because this isn't funny, Gotham. We're going to have breaking news at the top of the hour about this. He says far above his pay grade, discussing what should be done with the consideration, all the caution he's taken to be a man of integrity and not cross the line. He's deciding to take the next 2 weeks off. This will ensure that there is no validity to the charge that either his employer or he is being unfair to his opponent. He also says that it pains him to take away time from you, the kind listener, your friend. He will also be delighted in having more time to connect with the voters of District 2. He'll be out in the neighborhood seeing and serving you. And if you wish to share the vision, you can find him on the World Wide Web and do that. He says he can't wait until we can chat or laugh together. Until then, know that I love you, and I'm cheering for all of you, and he is your show's biggest fan. So that coming from Scott James out of Weld County. We'll get to the top of the hour on that. Howard Caplan joining us back after he confronted Bill Clinton at a recent event regarding Jeffrey Epstein and the Lolita Express. Welcome back, Howard. Sorry about that breaking news up here.
Oh, no, not at all. No.
So I want to go back to the situation with your parents thinking, if you do this, you're going to get in trouble. How were you able to, if at all, Mom, Dad, come on, stop?
They, it is what it is. And, my mom says her piece about it, and I go along and I tell her everything's going to be fine, and everything ends up fine. And, she's coming around a little bit.
And she's still your mom. I'm just, at the end of the day, just want, I don't want anything wrong to happen to my kids. And I get that. But it is interesting. It's one thing for a younger generation to be, don't want to say that, don't want to offend, I just want to fit in. But, and maybe this is for your family, or maybe it's regional to the East Coast. I don't know. It just seems to me a little, that even Mom and Dad would go, come on now. We don't want you in trouble. Well, you didn't do anything wrong. The video clearly shows that. And again, Clinton, after his implosion on the Today Show, but he can't answer these questions. He can't respond to the charges. And I think, again, with people like you out there still on the trail and bringing this issue to light, they're going to have to discuss it. And once they do, they've got nowhere to go but, a jail cell. So bravo to you, Howard. Job well done. Shamelessly plug the social media again. I shared it earlier today, and I do apologize because I did not tag you in the first video because it wouldn't let me because of your not hashtag, your symbol on the Twitter feed. So make sure listeners get that and how else they can find you if they want to chat with you.
My Twitter handle is PG Howie 2, the number 2, PG Howie number 2.
Okay.
And also I'm part of a YouTube podcast. It's the Traffic Report, Traffic with a K. It's a little bit hard to find if you search it on YouTube, but you have to. They won't put it up. It'll be like.
Yeah, we know all that. I'm still working on getting Diamond and Silk. This whole suppression of the internet is getting ridiculous. Right. Howard Caplan, ladies and gentlemen. Howard, great job. Job well done, my friend.
I appreciate that very much. Thanks for having me on, Scooter.
Keep up the great work, all right?
I intend to.
Excellent. Howard Caplan, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go to the top of the hour. Breaking news out of Weld County. I shouldn't laugh. That's Amy Gresheimer. She's in charge of the Bugatti now. Hi, Amy. It came up on social media. Now I'm getting tagged in the, wait a minute. Okay, I got it. I see it. You don't have to tag me. I can read social media. If you missed it, we'll come back, reset for the top of the hour, and we'll be back with more of the Scooter McGee Show.